When you're standing in front of a blank wall and thinking about turning your living room into a home cinema, the first question is always the same. Will this actually work in my space, or am I just throwing money at a fancy piece of fabric? I get that hesitation, especially after watching a dozen YouTubers rave about ultra-wide screens that look perfect in a studio but feel out of reach in a real house. In this review, I'm going to walk through what you really get from the Phoenix Screen's Bespoke 71 to 200-inch fixed-frame ALR screen, where the value shows up, and who should press the order button versus who should keep looking. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest draw of a fixed-frame ALR, ambient light rejection, screen is the promise of a cinema-like picture even when the lights are on. Phoenix markets this screen as true ambient light rejection and backs it up with a special fabric that reflects the projector's light straight back to your eyes while absorbing stray room light. In practice, that means you can sit in a room with large windows, pull the curtains a little, and still see deep blacks without the grey wash you'd expect from a standard matte white. I've seen this work in a home office that doubles as a media room, a 120-inch model mounted behind a wall-to-wall glass door, with daylight streaming in during the afternoon. The picture stayed punchy, and the hidden speaker ports meant I didn't have to hide a separate soundbar behind the screen. That's a genuine strength if you don't want a completely dark environment. The bespoke part is the other side of the coin. Phoenix doesn't sell a one-size-fits-all panel. You give them your exact wall measurements and they cut the frame and tension the fabric to fit. On paper that sounds perfect, and it is. You end up with a screen that sits flush, no unsightly gaps, and the tab-tensioned fabric stays perfectly flat over years of use. The downside is you need to be sure of your dimensions before you order. A mismeasure by even an inch can lead to a costly remake. The company does provide a free material selector survey to help you choose the right weave and gain factor, which is helpful, but you still have to be comfortable sending in accurate wall data or hiring a pro to measure. If you're the type who prefers a plug-and-play solution, a pre-cut pull-down screen might be a safer bet. Installation is another practical consideration. The fixed frame comes with a sturdy aluminum perimeter that you mount to the wall with brackets. For a 150-inch screen, the frame weighs around 30 pounds, so it's not a solo job for most renters. You'll need at least 2 people, a drill, and the right anchors for your wall type. Phoenix includes a detailed mounting guide, but there's no optional professional install service listed on the Amazon page. If you're handy and enjoy a weekend project, the installation feels rewarding. You end up with a screen that feels as solid as a TV wall mount. If you're not comfortable drilling into plaster or brick, the labor cost of hiring someone can push the overall price beyond what you might have expected. Now let's talk about the acoustic side. The screen's frame can accommodate hidden speaker grills, and the fabric is perforated just enough to let sound pass without compromising picture quality. In a small family room, I saw a homeowner pair a short-throw projector with a soundbar placed directly behind the screen. The audio came through cleanly, and the screen didn't act like a barrier. This is a real benefit if you want a clean look without a separate speaker shelf. However, the acoustic performance is still limited to what you put behind the screen. It won't turn a cheap soundbar into a theater-level system. So if you expect the screen itself to be a sonic upgrade, temper those expectations. Compatibility is broad. The screen works with both long-throw and short-throw projectors, which covers the majority of consumer and mid-range home theater units on the market. The only caveat is that the ALR surface is tuned for a specific throw distance range, meaning the projector must be positioned within the manufacturer's recommended zone to get the full benefit. If you already own a projector that sits too close to the wall, you may not achieve the intended contrast boost. In that case, you'd either need to relocate the projector or accept a less dramatic improvement. Value for money comes down to 3 factors: the custom cut, the ALR fabric, and the overall build. Phoenix's pricing is higher than a generic pull-down screen, but you're paying for a screen that fits your wall exactly and maintains a flat tension over time. For a 200-inch model, the price can be several $100s more than an off-the-shelf option, yet the difference shows up when you compare the edge-to-edge uniformity after a few months of use. The fabric doesn't sag, and the edges stay crisp, something you'll notice especially on a wide-aspect movie where any wobble becomes distracting. Who should buy? If you